You must be careful about the words you use, or the words you allow to be used in your house. Words are things. You must be careful. Careful about calling people out of their names, using racial pejoratives and sexual pejoratives and all that ignorance. Don't do that.
It's time to talk about it.
Pull up a chair and take a seat.
We're serving up recipes for life.
With Hampton University's Dr. Richard Mason and Dr. Tamara Williams.
Welcome to the Sunday Brunch.
This is Dr. Tamara Williams.
This is Dr. Richard Mason, and welcome back to the table for another edition of Sunday Brunch with the Good Doctors.
The good doctors.
Hey, so how's it been for you this week?
This has been a cold week, my brother. A cold week.
Listen, I told somebody earlier this week, I said, for all of those folks who said they're going to do something when hell freezes over, I said, today is your day. It is cold out here, so you better get that done. Whatever it was you said you were going to do when that happens, it's today.
Today is your day. You know, as we are still in the early parts of our new year, we never talk about resolutions because we always say that people need to go ahead and stay in motion. But today is your day to get all of those things accomplished because it is cold.
Oh yeah, and whatever it is,
cold.
I'm gonna do it inside. That's my plan. Whatever it's gonna be, it's gonna happen inside.
That's my plan all year round.
Probably a little bacon, a little something on the stove or something like that.
Well, we're having brunch today, but for sure, outside of that, we do encourage the people to stay inside. It is cold. So that has been my week, but it's been a busy week. I've gotten quite a bit of things accomplished. It's been a great, productive week. But I'm always glad to be back here at the table with you for sure.
Oh, no doubt. You know, seeing a lot of stuff happening, seeing a lot of things transitioning in the world, you know, when I tell you just the world of politics, government, a lot of things are just uncertain right now, you know, and so that really has a lot of people in a quandary, you know, and I'm seeing a lot of mixed emotions. You know, people are calling in for some services, you know, experiencing things vicariously, you know, watching things happening on the internet, on the TV and stuff like that. And it's really put people in some bad spaces emotionally.
We have to be careful about what we tap into. There's things that are well outside of our control, and we have to, and I encourage people to always be more of the thermostat instead of the thermometer. Start setting their own temperatures and starting understanding what their good temperature is and stop taking on the temperatures and the positions of other people. People want to match energy. That's not a good look. You need to already understand what your natural homeostasis. See, we're going to talk about that word home pretty soon, but homeostasis, you got to know what that natural feeling is for you and what feels good for you. And you have to fight for that specifically. And you don't have to be what other people are just because that's what they are. That's not what you're called to be. You don't have to be that. So I'm happier at my own temperature. So as I said, it's cold outside. Please understand, it's a good 74 where I am right now. That's how I like it.
Exactly.
Always.
That helps you learn how to respond to things versus reacting.
Absolutely. And that is what we always encourage people to do. We cannot control what other people say or do, but we can control how we respond. That is the only thing that we can control is how we respond. And right now, when the world seems chaotic and we can't control things, we have to control what we can't control, which is how we respond to things.
Exactly.
Where we show up, how we show up,
Wait a minute,
when we show up.
and who we show up for.
Let's start right there. Who we show up for. And definitely show up for yourself, because if you don't show up for you, who gonna show up for you?
Exactly.
People
when you talk
mad
about
that other
those
people won't
resolutions.
show up for them. Yeah,
Well,
you don't show up for yourself.
Exactly. When you talk about those resolutions, that's one of the things that we, you know, talk with people about. You create these resolutions, but the reality is you got to change your way of living. Don't make it a resolution. These are just life-changing moments that you got to have, you know, and that requires you to show up for yourself, you know, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, mindset changes.
Exactly.
Well, I'm excited about our show today. We have some new guests brunching with us today, but we also have a returning guest.
Yes, a full table too. A full table.
Yes,
There's a lot of folk at this table. The bill is
Listen,
gonna be
we
full. There's gonna be a big bill today.
look, I'm gonna let you cover this bill. I'm gonna let you cover this bill today. This one's on you, bro. Um, but for sure, we have a full table today, and at least once or twice a year, we tend to get a full table. But
Hmm.
today is a special day. I want to make sure that we do leave time to talk about these guests, and I can promise our listeners right ahead that we will never finish this conversation. That they will have to come out and talk to
Hmm.
these individuals themselves and meet them in person. And we're going to encourage them to do just that. So I
Yes.
want to welcome to the table Virgilia Jade Banks,
Yes.
VJ Banks, the
Yes.
director extraordinaire, who is coming back to the table to talk to us about her latest work that she's working with at Hampton, and it's going to be at the American Theater. So we were
Hmm.
there last year when we were doing
Yes.
the Soldiers play.
Which was amazing.
Yes,
Thank you.
indeed. And
Thank
we
you.
had we had the guests here on the show. And so we are definitely going to show up again in a few weeks in February. We're going to be right back there again at the American
Hmm.
Theater. So welcome to the table and welcome to Sunday Brunch, Virgilia Jade Banks.
Hi, hi, hi. Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be back. Good to be with family. Good to be home.
Yes.
Home. Yes,
Yes,
that's the word. It's good to be
yes.
home.
Good to be home. I
Yes.
always feel like I'm home with you guys. So thank you for having me. And I'm ready to, get into this brunch and talk and have a great conversation with you guys.
Well,
Sounds
welcome back
good.
for sure.
Yes,
Tell us just
welcome.
a little bit about home.
Home. Home is a play that is near and dear to me, and near and dear to our culture, to be quite honest with you. Home follows the story of Cephas Miles, a young
Hmm.
man who is an optimistic farmer who is, living on his family's land and cultivating it. And in this coming of age tale, he ends up losing his land as well as his childhood sweetheart, and is then imprisoned in jail for a substantial amount of time. And it just follows his journey from home, from North Carolina, where he was raised, to the great North, to the promised land, as a lot of African Americans called it at that time. And it just shows the harsh realities of life and how we always can come back home again. And it's a story that's really near and dear to our department. And like I said, really near and dear to Black people as a whole. It's a
Hmm.
show that I think that you'll find people in your life or people that you've experienced in your life. You'll find glimpses of them in this show. And we're really excited about putting this show on. And I'm really happy to be doing it at my home by the sea.
All
Yes, you're
right.
home by the sea.
Yeah.
But let me
Hmm.
ask you this. You said it's near and dear to your department. It was originally done by someone who was Turner Ward. Is there any relation to
You know,
the Dr. Turner Ward? I
right.
just want to know.
Right. You know what? We always joke about that, Douglas Turner Ward, he was the first director of this piece when it was mounted by the Negro Ensemble.
Hmm.
And of course, when it was on Broadway, but no relation to Dr. Karen Turner Ward.
Okay, just
Hmm.
checking.
Yeah, only relation in art, only as a fellow lover of art. That's it. But we know
It's
that we're
close
in good
enough. We can claim it though. We're all kinfolk.
right. Yeah, we'll claim it. We'll claim it. I'll definitely claim it. Definitely claim it. But yes, it's very near and dear to our department. We actually did um, a mounting of it last year for a traveling show, and it was,
Hmm.
a bit condensed. But now we're going to do the full length production now that we
Hmm.
are going to be doing it at home. So we're really looking forward to tackling the themes that are in this show, about family and home and land
Hmm.
and legacy and life. And like I said, I
Hmm.
really do think that the audience will find it relatable, whether they know somebody or they see glimpses of even themselves in this piece.
I just
Hmm.
need to know, and I'm gonna pre-jump just ahead. Are we gonna be smiling at the end of the play? Because some of these things that you've been talking about, they seem pretty heavy. So has it been resolved by the end? Or are you leaving me in turmoil? Like am I at arms at the end? I just need to know ahead of time what
Well,
mindset I need to come in the theater with.
I don't want to spoil the ending for you,
Okay.
but I will say you know, when it comes to our lives as Black people, we find pieces of joy even in the harsh realities that we face.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I hear
so
what you're saying to me.
you'll definitely be smiling, you'll be laughing, and like I said, you'll be probably, you know, pointing up at the stage saying, you know what, that's my grandfather right there, or that's my
Mm-hmm.
pastor, or that's my auntie, you know, or that's how I was when I
Mm-hmm.
was young. You'll definitely find moments of joy, as we do as a culture. We find moments of joy even with all the
Mm-hmm.
sad things that occur to us. So I don't want to spoil the ending, but just know it is a
I
beautiful
hear what you're
ride.
saying to me. I hear what
You
you're
just gotta
saying to me.
wait and see,
Yes.
wait and see.
Wait and see. Wait and see.
What I hear what she's saying is that even now we are still in the midst of the same struggles and issues that we were
Mm-hmm.
facing
For
then. And
sure.
so at the end, we're going to find joy along the journey, but it's going to be
Yes.
quite the journey. That's what I'm hearing from you. It's
Mm-hmm.
quite
Yes.
the journey.
How
For
about
sure.
The
this?
journey home.
Home is going to represent hope. How about that? Can you walk away
Yes.
with that for
I
today?
pray for that.
All
Yes,
right.
for sure. For sure. We definitely can walk away with hope. We have to have it, right?
That's right.
Life is
It's
long if you don't have
necessary.
hope. Yes.
Necessary. It's definitely necessary. I want to talk a little bit about how what you have done compares to maybe what the original on Broadway was. When I was looking at the home, I noted that they usually have very small casts, and I know that you have some of your cast with us today that you're going to introduce us to.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you stick with that same um, way of presenting the piece by having a small cast?
Yes, we have a small cast, but I guess we do kind of vary from what other productions have done, because we have an A cast and a B cast. And like I told them when we first signed on for this production, I said, it's no difference between the cast, like the A cast or the B cast. It's just the way I
Mm-hmm.
distinguish between the two. Regardless of who you actually see on that stage, when you come to see the production of Home, when you come to see your Showtime, you're going to have a really great time, and you're going to see some really great actors, people that I consider family. That's another reason why this show is so it's so close to us, because a lot of these young people that I'm working with are people that I've worked with numerous times,
Mm-hmm.
and so we are varying a little bit in that way. And then also, every director, when you're doing a show that's been mounted before, you want to add something different. You want to add your stamp or your essence to it. So I am going to do some things that are a little different from
Mm-hmm.
the original production. And it's really easy to do that when you have such a great team. Like, I'm working really closely with Dr. Ward, who you all know, who's
Mm-hmm.
the artistic director of our rep. I'm working alongside Torenzo, who I've been working with since we were both, I would say, 19, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he's lasted longer than most relationships I've had.
Wow. Now
He has
that's a
lasted. Like,
conversation
he
as
is,
we
for
speak.
sure. He has lasted. And that's because we have such a genuine friendship and a love for the arts. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that has forever bonded us. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do as an artist, and as an artist who works in educational theater, is to give young people, the generations behind me, the autonomy, the tools needed to create their own art. And so that's why it's really great to work alongside Isaac, who is someone you've all seen in
Mm-hmm.
Soldier's Play, and then Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
who also worked on Soldier's Play with us and has done other productions such as The Color Purple at Hampton. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, these are not people that you haven't seen before, but these are people that you're going to not only just see on this stage here, but you're going to see in the future on numerous stages
Mm-hmm.
as they go on with their careers.
Oh, wow. So
Yes.
you have already set us up in a nice way to introduce
Mm-hmm.
some of the people who are at our table. And so I'm so excited about that. If you would for us, Jay, please introduce Torenzo to us.
Mm-hmm.
Torenzo, like I
Uh-huh.
said, Torenzo is a longtime friend and collaborator. Torenzo Blair, he is a Hamptonian. So once
Mm-hmm.
again, we're
Okay.
working with family, and he's working at his home by
Mm-hmm.
the sea. I'm going to let him talk about some of the things that he's done. He's done some amazing things since leaving Hampton. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really a great thing for us and for the audience that we're able to have him during this unusual lapse of time right now between his two jobs, numerous jobs. So I'm really happy to have him here. And so I want to just introduce my longtime friend, my boy, my homie, Torenzo. So yeah, Torenzo Blair, take it away.
Welcome home. Welcome home, Teresa.
Welcome back home,
Oh,
Torenzo, to your
all
home
right.
by the sea. What
All
year did
right.
you leave us for
2013.
temporary?
Okay.
Oh, What
What
year did I
year did you
leave? I
graduate?
graduate or left
Yeah.
Hampton?
Graduate.
Oh, 2013. 2013, I
Okay.
graduated.
2013. So that
All
makes you
right.
a what?
So I'm a different student. Like I transferred in from another
Oh,
school, so I was confused with all that stuff. I left with quintessence.
Okay.
gotcha.
Okay,
He
but I
really
didn't
All
come
honest.
you
in,
know
so
for
I know
sure is that you are a Hampton graduate and
that's
you are
Yes.
for sure a pirate.
yeah.
Yes,
But
indeed.
Jay said you're Onyx, though. She
He's
said you're
really
really
honest.
Onyx.
I don't know
Honest
what
people
it.
remain
Listen,
honest.
I transferred in, then I got deployed for a year. I was just all over the place, but I
Yeah.
got out of there and I
Yep.
graduated.
I hear you say you got deployed for a year.
Mhm.
Yes, I was in the reserves when I was a student there, and I
Okay.
got
What
did a tour in
branch?
Kuwait, Coast Guard,
Army?
Coast
Army?
Guard.
Mhm.
Coast Guard. Coast
Hmm.
Guard.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And I did
Hmm.
I had to stop for 1 year of school and then do a tour in Kuwait, and then I came back
Hmm.
and finished. So
So
Okay.
this show home actually kind of speaks to you a little bit. Put a
yeah,
little pause. Put a little
yeah.
pause. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Also, before we start, look, I'm not as good as interviewing and talking as Jade is, so I want y'all to lower your expectations. Uh,
Chris crazy.
the nature of my job now as a uh, carpenter and the person that builds a set is to be in the background, not be seen, not do a lot of the talking. So this is different for me right now.
Hmm.
So to be out here talking and have my face being seen because again, my job is to build the set and to do the things that people don't see,
Hmm.
get done, but helps build the world of the play and helps bring everyone in there. But we
And
hire.
win
That's why we
Oscars.
want
And
you
win
here
Oscars
at
for
the
that kind of
table.
stuff.
That's why we
Yeah.
want you here at the table so that we can have brunch with you. Not that you'll be on the front part of the stage when the play starts, but people need to know there's so much that happens behind scenes and there's so
Hmm.
many people that are important. And there's some people who are listening who one day may want to do what you're doing specifically and may not know how to
Hmm.
because everybody's been quiet.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, so
Hmm.
we believe in giving people their flowers while they're living around this piece.
Mm-mm.
Exactly,
We
exactly.
kudos when the kudos is due. Yes, while you can still appreciate it. So thank you for coming back to your home by the sea and giving your time in
Hmm.
this way. So you're building this set. How does this set compare to other sets maybe that you've built before?
Okay, well, so when I went to Hampton, I was a performance major, so I did act and perform on the stage.
Hmm.
So that always informs how I build a set. I look at my
Hmm.
set as a character
Hmm.
in the play. Um, so I guess I can compare it to this show that I built last year when I built Home. Um, where because the show was condensed, I also condensed the set. It was smaller,
Hmm.
and we were in a smaller place, so it was tighter, more intimate. Because of the cutting down of the set, it almost felt natural. Like the cutting down of the script also mean like, all right, let me cut down on the set a little bit
Hmm.
as well. Um, so this set it has more frill to it. It has more spectacle. It has I got to have a little more creativity and fun with this one.
Hmm.
So that would be the difference between this set and that. But then also I do concert touring, which is a totally different monster than this. So with concert touring, it's just huge. You're in stadiums, you're in arenas. You come
Hmm.
in, you got 3 hours to put something together and come back and tear it down. So the theater world is just it's more fun, it's more creative, it allows me to be an artist. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. And those are the big things that matter. I will tell you, when you look at folks like costuming and stuff like that, like Ruth Carter, she's just got another award nomination, so we're excited about that.
For sure.
It's not just being in front of the screen, it's all the things that happen behind the scenes like this that really matters, that really makes the production. So I'm excited. Like I said, I definitely want to see, what this is seriously going to look like across the board. So thank you. So what have you been doing since you left Hampton though?
A lot, a
Hmm.
lot. But to condense it, uh, uh, I moved to Jersey to pursue acting, and I did some TV stuff, did some off Broadway stuff. But also while I was at Hampton, I learned the skill of carpentry from Dr. Otto when I was there. And
Mm.
literally every show that I performed in while I was there, I actually helped build as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I always had the opportunity to do that as well. So like, money get tight and everything. Hey, hey, I can come use my hands. I can help build something, which
Mm-hmm.
kept me in the world. By the
Mm-hmm.
grace of God, that opened other doors for me to tour with Tyler Perry and a couple of the Medea plays, and then from
Mm-hmm.
there to go into concert touring and touring with artists like Maxwell, Avril Lavigne,
Mm-hmm.
Nicki Minaj, and most recently this year, I did a tour with Beyonce for the Cowboy Carter tour. So
Hey, all right.
Yes.
that
I'm mad that you just try to sweep these out of row.
Right,
Like, I've
right.
just been doing a few things, just a few names. Just, every name that he dropped was a major name, as if it's just no, it's just no big deal. I'm just building Tyler Perry sets. He has a whole studio now, but before he had this whole studio, I was traveling around building these sets. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's
Right.
amazing. That is amazing. Your life is doing the singing. Your
Mm-hmm.
life is doing you say you don't have a lot of words, but your work is speaking for you.
yes,
Absolutely.
For
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
that
You showing
that's
up in the world.
that's
Mm-hmm.
that's that's me. Like I'm introvert, quiet. Like I don't like doing a lot of the talking, but I love like the art. I love the world of it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I enjoy about being able to get there and just sit back and watch the show happen and see like the joy, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
and know that like this doesn't happen without you, you know what I'm saying. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that's and everybody's human, man. So like
Mm-hmm.
I those are big names, but in being around them, it's like they just humans. Beyonce is just a
Mm-hmm.
mother. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
get to sit in a rehearsal and see her with her kids, she's just a mother,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a wife, and
Mm-hmm.
but also she's really talented and she can dance and sing too.
Mm-hmm.
She's she
All right.
Hey, go sit down, be quiet.
Right now.
Yeah, my mom used to say that to me too. You know,
Immediately. Yeah.
and that's the thing about theater as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
as a student, I learned to like just look at everybody and not judge them and just see them as human beings because you
Mm-hmm.
can't be a good
Mm-hmm.
actor if you're judging people all the time,
Right.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody it helps with the job because I'm not awestruck or anything by
You're not
anybody. You're a
starstruck.
human being.
Yeah.
You're super
Mm-hmm.
talented. You're amazing, but you're a human, you
Right.
know.
Right.
And you're just as important as while I'm there, the janitor that I just walk past and make sure these bathrooms are clean for these people
That's
that's going to
right.
see the show.
Just as
Mm-hmm.
So,
important.
you
Absolutely.
For
know,
sure.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Absolutely. Well,
What?
welcome, welcome,
Yes.
welcome, Terenzo.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what your version of home looks like in your set. So I'm definitely looking forward
Mm-hmm.
to that.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, introduce us to someone else that's a part of your cast.
Well, I would love to introduce Isaac and Jordan, and they have a very unique experience with this show. It's near and dear to them, I'm sure, as well, because they were actually a part of the original cast of the mounting that we did last year. And like Terenzo said, and what I echoed, is that, the show that we did last year was a condensed version of the show. And so I feel like these two know the show intimately, like they just know
Mm-hmm.
all the ins and outs. They also, when we do a condensed show, we have to take out some of the meat and potatoes of the script in order to, have an appropriate running time, and then also making sure the material is appropriate for certain venues and audiences, because we did a lot of shows at churches, and while this, I do think a church audience would appreciate this, there's some things that we might have to take or, water down for those types of audiences. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like these two in particular were able to navigate that material and find a way to still get the authors or the playwrights message across, but also making it work for whatever audience we were in front of. And so that's just a testament to their artistry. It's a testament to their dedication. And like I said, I've worked with both of them on other productions as well. And I'm really excited to see them on their artist journey, both here at Hampton, but also when they go out into the world and they do really big things. But for the time being, they're here with us, and I'm really happy that they're here with me on this journey. And so I would love to introduce Isaac and Jordan, and bring them into the fold and let them talk about how their experiences are with this production and with this show.
All right,
All
all
right,
right.
all right. Welcome to the table, Jordan and Isaac. We're going to start with Jordan because we have met Sir Isaac and we're going to meet him again shortly. But Jordan, do tell us how you became a part of this cast and what do you do?
I play woman two in
Okay.
home. So
Mhm.
I love woman two. Like I being a part of this, being part of the rep. I started back freshman year when we did Color Struck and Church Fright. So I've been working with Jade since then. So my little freshman year up until my junior year. So when I first did this, I just auditioned because it was my professors. They put it out there and I auditioned and I was so excited because this is like one of the first challenging roles I've ever had at Hampton for me. Just testing my skills as an artist and as an actress. So I was really appreciated to do this role. So when I got to the chance to do it, I was like, whoa, like this is a lot. I gotta really hone in on my skills and go into detail about what I'm doing with this character. Because with Woman 2, she plays so many different characters in Cephas's life. So I have to narrow down what the walk that she has, what's this, what's that. So it was very important for me to do that and to challenge me as an actress. So to do it now, I wanted to have like a second chance on doing it because I feel like I can take her so much further than I did when I did it as a touring show because I learned so much more about who this character is, because we took out a lot
So
of
how
cuts and
many
stuff.
mixed personalities did you have to incorporate in this
Listen,
position?
I was
Because
about to go there
that's
for a
what I'm
minute.
hearing. Like in
It's a
order to
treatment
like
plan
distinguish,
opportunity.
Yeah,
right?
it's a lot. And
I'm
she's
just saying like
downplaying
to
it.
distinguish between the characters, you had to do some things to
Yeah.
make sure that people knew they were different people.
Yeah. So when we originally did it, I think we kept about all like I think there's maybe about 8 characters that Woman 2 plays, maybe a little more. And I
No,
had to like be an aunt, I had to be a little boy, I had to be a little like it's different changes throughout the play. What like
that's
I
voice
represent
changes and everything.
Yes, so I had to do a different walk. I had to do her different like tone, mannerisms because I was a different character each. I wasn't just a same character throughout the play. So it definitely was a challenge for me because it was like, oh, I was testing my skills on what I can do to characterize my characters, not just one, but 8 different characters and as one.
For sure.
And timing.
Yeah.
And timing because you have to be ready and prepared to be in these different places and
Hmm.
these different characters and jumping in and out of character.
Yes,
Oh, that's
absolutely.
quite the undergraduate challenge.
For sure it
Yes.
Yeah,
is.
and you said Woman 2 has all of these different characters that she's playing. Is that what you're saying
Mhm.
here?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, that sounds like a treatment plan.
Yes.
Of
We'll work
course,
on that.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. That's schizophrenia all day, everything. And she's
Yes,
got a
that's
lot
a
popping off. Yeah.
That's
exactly,
what happens when we're
exactly.
with the doctors. The doctors are going to try to diagnose you, Jordan.
Yes, Jordan. Good thing
Listen,
you're just
listen.
acting, Jordan. Good thing you're just acting, Jordan. And this
Yeah.
is not for real, for real.
No.
But there's a part of you then now, and we're joking, but you're playing and taking on all these different roles, and you still have that main role as a student. Like you
Hmm.
Yes.
still need to be able to produce and be able to show up in your
Hmm.
life and continue that goal at the same
Mhm.
time. So it is a great challenge. So
Yes.
Hmm.
happy that you were up to it. So
Thank
happy
you.
that
Yeah,
you were up to it.
I've
And we're
Yes.
always
looking
thought,
forward to seeing that.
and I was, just when I was a student at Hampton years ago, I would go to the plays and stuff like that or whatever, because that's something that, the
Hmm.
culture that my parents took us to as little kids. And coming to Hampton and seeing, some of my peers act in plays and things like that or whatever, it's like, wow. And now, even just to continue to support the theater program and watching students do some of these plays, it's like, wow, these kids are talented, and so it's amazing, from The Color Purple to Soldier Story, I can't wait to see Home. I'm waiting to see Raising in the Sun. It's so much that I want to see, because of what happens, the opportunities that this affords you all as students to
Yeah.
prepare you for the big stage, for the big screen, to tour and hang out with folks like Tyler Perry and and Beyonce and folks like that or whatever. We have some really talented students here at Hampton. How do you prepare for that? And what do you do in terms of just being ready for these opportunities?
For me, I've always dreamed big since I was a little girl. So for me, I take any opportunity I can. My mom always tells me to put wherever you could put all your eggs in the basket. Like get your eggs in one basket, no matter how much it fills up, because you don't know when you're gonna need this. So to
Mm-hmm.
prepare for these opportunities, it really I like think about it, I reflect. I'm like, what can I do to like what is this gonna help me in the long run? Because I
Mm-hmm.
know where I want my goals to be. I know where I want my dreams to be. And I can't let that slow me down if I think about something else to distract me, to prepare me as an
Mm-hmm.
artist. And to if my peers are watching, yeah, it's so like strenuous and stressful because like wow, like my peers are watching me. However, like I have to be like I have so much more for me and I know why I'm doing this. I have my
Mm-hmm.
whys, I have my what I'm doing. So when my peers watch me, yes, it's scary, but it's also like I got this. And if I'm meeting
Mm-hmm.
certain people, because I've met certain people um, before, and it's just like, okay, I'm not going to be so intimidated because I'm working with a union actor and I'm working with this person because they might be my networking in the long run. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I definitely take every opportunity and just be at calm with it and just kind
Mm-hmm.
of dive into what's going to benefit me in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we
And
want to make sure. Go ahead,
Oh,
I
Terrell.
just want to say because I watched Jordan last year working, and I mean ultimately actors are I watched her build each character. All right. So he's there,
mm-hmm.
like I would come in and all right, the little boy, okay, like, all right, the aunt, the pastor, okay. But then you would see each one become more distinct. And each one of the
Mm-hmm.
like it's these are decisions that's being made. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, I'm gonna give the pastor a little bit of a limp and give him a little bit of a growl. But then also like the other thing that you don't see is like as actors, she's like, all right, and the pastor, he just left home with his wife who might be sick and he just finished eating breakfast. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so much like development and story that she has to do for every single
Mm-hmm.
character to make it alive and to make that character alive. And I watched her
Mm-hmm.
like grow and build and do that last year. And I'm looking for I'm so I have to leave the country like after I build the set. But like I get back in time to get to see the choices that she makes again and how she's grown and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that you know what that's what student theater is about. That's what Hampton
Mm-hmm.
should be is providing to these students. Like they
Mm-hmm.
got to get on that stage. They got to be know how to sit under those lights. They got to know the pressures that it's going to take when you go out here in the industry and you have to be competitive
Mm-hmm.
and being able to build those characters and to be those human carpenters,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
is essential. Is essential.
And
Right.
to
And
hone your
Jordan did,
excellence. Yeah.
yes,
hmm And
and
To
that's
Jordan
hone
what
did
your
amazing.
excellence.
And Jordan did
and I'll say
amazing
this,
last year.
that's what Oscar performances are made of. When you think about who's winning the Oscars, the Tonys, and things of that nature, whatever, it's the folks who are able to take you out of thinking, oh, that's Jordan. That's my we had science class together. We had math class together, whatever. You're forgetting that this is Jordan. You're caught up so much in that character. And those are the types of performances that will land you that Oscar, that will land you that Tony, because you think about a lot of, folks like Denzel Washington, who's won Oscars and all or whatever. Some of his performances, you're like, yeah, that's Denzel. But it's when he took you out, was able to take you away from who he was. He won that Oscar for what, the Training Day, and it was like, wait a minute.
When King Kong had nothing on him, baby. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like when an actor is able to take you out of knowing who they are or another role that you've seen them in, that's when you win those awards. And so that's amazing that you're able to do. I can't wait to see this. Like I said, I might
Yes,
might
indeed.
get you a prescription or something, get your treatment plan after this now.
No, I promise you I'm okay.
Listen,
I'm
Jordan,
okay.
I ain't messing with you like that. I'm not messing with you like
I'm
that, but we
okay.
will check
I'm
in to
okay. I
make
can
sure
take
you're
myself out
okay.
of it. I got it.
Good, good, good. We want to
mhm.
make sure that we leave some time here at the table too for welcoming back to the table,
Mhm.
Isaac Taylor.
Yes, welcome back.
Isaac
Hey,
Taylor.
hey.
Yes, welcome back home, my bud. Welcome back home.
I'm glad to be back. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
So
tell
tell us.
tell everybody a little about yourself.
Well, I'm Isaac Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I do go to Hampton University,
Mm-hmm.
Onyx 13.
Mm-hmm.
No
I am,
confusion there.
yeah,
Well, see,
Onyx.
I'm gonna tell you right there. It's all about being an ogre. That's just it for me. Yes, exactly. See, Jordan understands. It's all
Y'all
No,
about
got
being an
next
ogre.
year.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all got
We are
next
the
year.
oldest. You understand? The
I'm
we're
none of the
original.
above. I'm none of the
no,
above, but I
we the lit and
appreciate
turnt
it.
ones.
Diamonds.
Onyx is just the lit and turnt ones. That's all. That's all. That's
We
all.
diamonds.
You know. Period.
Okay. So, so tell us, Isaac, what year are you?
I'm a senior this year. I'm graduating.
Okay.
Okay. May.
So
May it
this is
is.
Yes, ma'am. This is with it being home, wrapping up at the home by the sea. This one is it does feel different. I know I did do the touring show before previously, but even when doing a condensed version, a shortened version, we were still able to tell the story as much as we could with what we had. But doing the full show this time, it's unlocked some new stuff. It's seeing the character, seeing the world in a different way. I guess for Cephas specifically, is understanding what home is exactly. Is it a thing? Is it a person? Is it a feeling? Is it a place? So even for me, the correlation between that, I'm from Texas, but finding home here, and
Mm.
learning uh, what what connects me, what makes this feel like home. So getting to wrap it up, uh, my undergraduate career with doing a play like home at my home by the sea is I couldn't dream of nothing better. So I'm very
It's
Okay.
gonna
excited.
be epic.
I'm very excited.
That's good. That's good. So
Indeed.
so so tell me about your character. And what are you doing to get into character?
Cephas is a hardworking farmer. He's from Crossroads, North Carolina. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to do or say too much. I don't want to give none away, but um, you do see his story. You see how much he changes from when he's young, going into adulthood. I know Jay mentioned him being locked up, so that mentality of being away from home, being in a unknown place, and then trying to find his way out of that. Um, so it's I probably say the the mindset, the research behind how people are during those times. Going back during the Vietnam War, those eras, those times, trying to understand the dynamics between people. What's the promised land? How is that
Mm-hmm.
compared to uh from what he's used to?
Mm-hmm.
So trying to understand um with the new show. I mean, not the new show, but the full version this time. Trying to put all
Mm-hmm.
the pieces together. I'm excited to see how we can work that out. Um, it's some new stuff that we didn't get to do before, so I ain't gonna lie, I'm itching. I'm itching
New
to see how
challenges,
that.
Y'all should
yes.
see the
I'm
excitement.
itching.
Y'all should
He's
see him,
so
right?
happy. Yeah. Well, that's when you know you're doing what your purpose to do, when you can wake
Yeah,
up looking like that and you look excited to do the job. Not that it's not work. You
Mm-hmm.
understand that work comes with it, but you are excited to take on that challenge. So that's
Mm-hmm.
for
that's a
sure.
good look. That's a good look.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
man. I see it in my head. Like even while I'm talking, I'm envisioning like how he's gonna be. Yes, Jordan and Woman One, those characters as far as like playing like multiple characters, the body language, the mannerisms, all of that. Steven doesn't have as much, but he does have that timeline of young, older. He's in this position. He's over here, so it's I
And
get to
you
play
still
with
have
it
to
too.
interact with this woman one and
Mm-hmm.
woman two as well. So you're
Yeah,
still interacting with these people in different ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm.
it's gonna be fun. I really am excited.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
excited to see what Jay got in mind too.
Yeah. And one thing
I'm
that Isaac
excited.
didn't say, but I want to emphasize too, is that his character, Cephas, never leaves the stage. Most,
What?
yeah, he never leaves the stage. Most productions, if you're doing the full script, is at least 90 minutes, if not more. And sometimes people do it straight with no intermission. So his character really doesn't ever leave the stage. So you're watching the evolution of Cephas in real time. Like he says, you see him as a young man, you see him as you see him as I would say like maybe a preteen, and then you see him as a young man, maybe around 18, and then you see him all the way until he's about 35, 40 years old. And so you see this man, you see this young boy become a man on stage, and in ways that the other two players, woman one and woman two, aside from what they have to do physically as actors, what they bring to it, and that's why everyone's craft in theater is so important. They also have different pieces of clothing, costumes that they add on to help them tell that story. Certain places that they'll be on stage to kind of tell that story. But Isaac is basically, stationary in a lot of ways for the duration of the production. So it's a lot to handle. It's a lot for all these actors to handle. Like Jordan, she was definitely downplaying her contributions as well, because she's playing, like she said, about 8 to 9 characters, but also playing them at different stages of their lives too. And so is woman one, who plays Cephas's love interest from when she was a girl until she's a grown woman. So it's a testament to the training that these actors have and just their craft. And also it's a testament to how all the other crafts within theater are so important. I know a lot of times we get focused or hyperfixated on who we see on stage, but the people that, like Torenzo said, who was also very modest about what he's contributing to the set, but the people who build our sets, the people who light us, lighting Black people in particular
Light and
is a
sound. Yes,
skill.
Lord.
It's a skill. Sometimes I watch TV and I'm just like, dang, y'all just lighting for, to be quite frank with you, you're lighting for the lightest person or the whitest person on the set. You're not caring about who has the deepest skin tone. So it's a challenge to find people who know what they're doing with lighting Black skin. So when we have that here, that's a blessing. Also costuming, we have Mr. Plunge, who is new to our Hamptonian family, but he's a graduate of Tisch, which is, my friend Miko calls it the bad schools of acting, the big, the really big schools that are known for acting. And he's a graduate from there, and he's going to be adding to our costumes. And some of the costumes that I've had a chance of seeing are absolutely gorgeous and so specific and nuanced to the time. Like, he really paid attention. And also he's added so much of his own artistry that even the actors don't know of it yet. I've seen it. I had a little sneak peek, but they haven't seen it yet. But I think that's going to also help them as well. So it's a lot of things that go into making a great production. And it's one of the reasons why I'm really happy that these actors are working in Black spaces to cultivate their artistry, because at least they know with us that we care about how they're seen. We care about their craft. We care about their education, what they have. So when they go out into the world and they're not around a lot of people that look like us, they can stand with their head held high and bring their artistry and not be questioned about, what they bring to the table.
And learn how to build sets while they're doing those things and
Yep.
well, so that they can take that with them as well and go on and build sets, or learn how to do the costuming so that they can take those skills on with them and win Oscars and go out there and build those costumes and sets. So it's translation of the excellence. And so you're coming to Hampton with some understanding that you want to be excellent in this, that you're perfecting that skill and honing that skill through these opportunities to do that and become that. And then you get to show everybody what you're capable of doing when you leave. So it's an amazing process. And I'm thankful for the person, Turner Ward, who put it together to even think about, even so many years later, how we're thinking even about money and how you finance things. He was able to get a lot out of a small cast. He was writing with the understanding of how many people he had to pay for, so that in itself is art.
Yes, it is. It is.
I think that's the importance of the repertory.
Yeah.
Hampton Repertory Theater. It also allows these students to be in a professional setting. Like
Hmm.
repertory theater is different from the theater at the school.
Yeah.
Like you have professionals that are in the industry that's coming and working. My painter, she paints for Saturday Night Live, and she comes and she paints. She gets to work with the students and give them those experience. That's the importance of the repertory because it is professional theater. They're working with
Hmm.
union actors.
Yep.
They literally the set gets built, it gets moved into American theater
Hmm.
on like a day or two before the show goes up. So
Yeah.
you gotta come in and in 2 days get that set under their feet and learn it. And that's how it is in the industry. The school is supposed to prepare you for the industry and to get
Yes.
out here and to be competitive. That is the importance of the repertory theater. And especially in a time like this where the theater is down and they're doing work in the building and the students can't get in there and get under the lights like they were supposed to. And they're doing the best that
Sure.
they can there. But that I'm so glad that the students have the repertory right now at this time to be
Yes.
able to really go out there and get some work in.
Yes.
But
I
And
we're
totally.
thankful.
Yeah.
Lorenzo, you were better in front scenes too than you actually thought you were. So
He really is.
that's
He is a
another skill
talented
that
actor
you may
too.
not know that you have. Yes.
He's a talented performer too. You know, the journeyman of an artist is long, and we make various pit stops and stops along the way. And right now he's on a different part of his journey. But you know, when I first met Torenzo, he was a true performer and still is, and really dynamic and talented. And like I said, he's very modest, but he definitely knows what to do both on stage, in front of the stage, and behind the stage. And so we're really lucky to have him as well. And just to also echo what he said, what you see these students do on stage is just like what I would imagine when you're seeing a scientist in their lab working and showcasing what they have come up with in the lab. It's or when you're seeing a lawyer doing what they're doing in court, making opening and closing arguments. It's the same thing. This is like their exam when they're on the stage. This is a culmination of everything they've been working on. So yeah, I know sometimes we think of plays and theater as just, you know, entertainment, because it is. It's a form of entertainment, and that's fine. But it's also a craft, a skill set that you have to show proficiency in. And that's the goal of the rep, to make sure that they go out into the world with a certain level of proficiency in this craft. So like I said, when they go out there and they're at grad school, at Tisch, you know, they are able to, you know, offer what they have to bring to the craft as well. So that's my goal for these actors, for these students, is to have that.
Well, we know we're thankful for all of our professors at Hampton and what they're able to
Sure.
pour into our students. But I will say this, when I look at our performing arts, you know, you all are able to pull out the best in our students to be able to display their best. And it takes a lot in terms of what you guys pour in to our students. Omar and the choir just had a performance here recently, and I was sitting there, and they moved the audience. You know, and one of the, you know, person sitting beside me, she was just amazed at what she was hearing come from the choir. You know, and she says, wow, how is he able to get these students to do everything? Jokingly, I told her, I said, he beats them, you know, but I thought, no.
I cannot believe you said that.
Quiet as kept.
I told Omar that. Omar could not stop laughing. But I said, no, I said, it's what our faculty is able to pour into these students, and really giving them the time, the dedication that
A
it
lot of
takes to,
time.
yeah, I said, because a lot of times our students don't see and don't understand what's inside of them. I said, and that performing arts program, music and performing arts, they're able to pull a lot of that stuff out of those students and push them to that next note, push them to that next scene, whatever it takes. And it pulls them to a place that now they have this confidence to step out on that stage, to step out and give that star-studded performance that you forget that these are students. You know, they are mastering their craft. So Jay, thank you so much for what you're doing. and all, and especially with the repertoire theater and all. It is
Thank you.
truly making a big difference in the lives for our students, but also for our community. So thank you so much. And I'll tell you,
And our
I've
former
enjoyed this.
graduates,
Yes, exactly.
bringing them back
Sure.
together and bridging
Mm-hmm.
that gap and giving people who consider themselves voiceless a real true
Mm-hmm.
voice. There's
Yeah.
language comes in different ways, whether it's music, it can be art in many different ways. And so
For,
it allows us to communicate without violence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for sure.
With
For sure.
we don't
Exactly.
have to beat it
Exactly.
into them without violence.
A
But
little beating. A little
it's
beating ain't never hurt. A little beating ain't never
listen,
hurt.
it,
You
it
know.
did, it did. I will not be co-signing on that.
And I'm just
We
playing.
we are emancipated for sure. And that's what we bring into this Black history aspect. I want to make sure that people know that violence doesn't have to be a part of our future, even though it was a part of our past. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Well, we know better. We could do better. At least we should. And so
Exactly.
we've come up to our time. And I promise
Yes.
you that when we got to our time, that we would always want more. But before we leave out, Jay, do tell them the dates of the show and how they can
Mm-hmm.
get tickets to see Home.
Oh yes. Our dates for the show will open on February 27th. We have dates for the 27th, the 28th, and March 1st. Tickets
Mm-hmm.
go on sale on Ticketmaster on February 1st. So please get your tickets. For those February 27th and 28th dates, we have a 7:30 showtime. And for
Mm-hmm.
March 1st, which is a Sunday, we have a matinee at 3 p.m. at the American Theater in downtown Phoebus. So please join us. And of course, you can get this information on our website, thehamptonrepertory.com. .org, excuse me. And yeah, so please come and see this production. We're working really hard on it, and we're really looking forward to our show dates and to have our audience come in and witness what we've done. It's going to be a labor of love, and something we're going to venture out into the cold to do. Is going to be a lot of nights of being in the cold, working on our craft, but it's something that we love to do, and we're really looking forward to having you all join us when it's ready to go for our first show.
Well, you
Well,
can count
thank
on the
you.
good doctors being in
Yes.
the room. We will definitely be there. And most likely I'll see it multiple times. I always like to see multiple times
Mm-hmm.
so that I can do my comparison of those nights. So absolutely.
Great.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Definitely looking forward. Thank you all for joining us at the table. It has truly been great having you all here once again. And you'll definitely have to come back again because we definitely want to hear a little bit more about some of the other projects that are coming up as well. All right. But anyway, for our listening audience, join us right back here next week on WHOV Smooth 88.1 FM for the most delicious hour in radio.
The essence of HU.
Keep your force.
Someday we'll be able to measure the power of words. I think they are things. I think they get on the walls. They get in your wallpaper. They get in your rugs, in your upholstery, in your clothes, and finally into you.
Thank you for joining us at the table.
Tune in next Sunday at 1 p.m. for more delicious topical recipes for life on the Sunday Brunch.
On Smooth 88.1 WHOV.